Hello everybody, Xanaphar here, and today, let's do a review of Ultraman Decker. Let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about Kanada, Asumi. So my thoughts on his character, I actually really liked him. He definitely grew on me a lot in the show, and I think his whole story arc, him trying to figure out what he fights for, was very interesting, and I did really like that. I eventually love his relationship with Agam. It's very interesting, especially because his ancestor told him to save Agam, and you see that kind of bothers him, and he don't really know how to do it, and trying to figure out how to save this guy. It just has so much hatred in his heart. He don't really know what to do. And I think that's very interesting. I also really like the scene Asumi's relationship with his team. It was just really well done, and I like their friendship. I think he's a pretty likable main lead. Now let's talk about the most interesting character in the show, Agam. Agam is the villain in the show, but it didn't start out that way at first. Initially, he was just part of Select. He was really the team's offender. He made Terror Phaser, and that was really it. But then it gets revealed he's a villain, and I thought that came out of nowhere. They didn't set it up, and just felt very weird, and it felt like just was a last minute thing. But it was actually a good choice. Agam is a fantastic villain. He's interesting. You understand kind of his reason. Yes, it is his fault, but he blames humanity for bringing the spear because he helped out humanity against the spear, and then the spear attacked his planet and killed his beloved. Agam's actor is really good as well. He is killing this role. I recognize the actor from Ultraman Zero, the movie. Definitely a good actor, and he did fantastic in his role. I do want to say Agam is probably one of the best villains in Ultraman in a long time. The last good villain, in my opinion, was Judlo from Ultraman Orb, but Agam is a fantastic villain. Something that surprised me is when Agam had sacrificed himself to save Kanada. I thought he was going to come back. I didn't think he died there, but no. They killed him off. Agam is just such a fantastic character. I didn't think I was gonna like this character so much. Now let's talk about Rumon. Rumon is pretty likable, I actually have to admit. I like the fact his reason why he joined Guts is because he was saved by the captain. And I love his relationship with the captain. It's very interesting. Especially like the fact at the end he gets demoted as the deputy captain. That is awesome. Now let's talk about Ichika. Ichika is very likable in the show. I like her connection with her team, and I like the fact she made connections with certain people, like anyone girl or old lady. Yeah, she is always willing to help out people as much as she can. The captain is very likable. I really liked the captain as well. I eventually loved his episode where he meets Grace. And I really enjoyed that episode because he agrees to help out Grace to make his daughter proud. He agreed that Select should fight him. And I also really love the scene where he sees he's too poor to cook food, so he makes some food. It's just a nice scene, and he's just a really good dude. I also liked it when he started getting interrogated in one episode. I thought that was very interesting, seeing his relationship with Rumon as well, because he saved Rumon as a young kid, and I love their relationship. Their relationship is really fun to watch. Actually, his relationship with his whole teammates is very nice to watch. Now let's talk about the vice captain. The vice captain really only has one episode to shine to us, though, I feel like. That's when she meets her mentor, and she has a battle of point of views in a way with her. Her mentor wants to use kaijus for attack to Earth and everything, and wants to control kaijus, and she don't really agree with that, and it's very interesting. The vice captain do have some moments in the show, but I do wish she does have some more episodes to herself, and honestly a bit more scene to herself. But she's not a bad character. Now let's talk about Hanjiro. At first I thought I was not gonna like this character because I really love the first Hanjiro from Ultraman Dyna, and I do prefer that version of Hanjiro more. But this Hanjiro is honestly not bad. I love his relationship with Asumi. They have a very fun friendship, and he is very funny in this show, and I really enjoyed him. Now another character I want to talk about very quickly is Dr. Asumi. He's from the future, he's Asumi's ancestor, and he's technically Ultraman Decker. And he's a fantastic character. He's very interesting, very likable. I recognize the actor. The actor I recognize from Kawaii Amazons. Actually, he appears in a lot of tokusatsu shows. He's a fantastic actor, but he only appears twice. You get this fantastic character, this fantastic actor. You're only gonna use him for 2 episodes? I would have loved to see him in the last 2, but no, they didn't use this fantastic character. It's a very missed opportunity. Now let's talk about Kengo. Most people probably know I don't like Kingo in his own show, and I still don't like Kingo in this show. It's all because on how the character is written. I was hoping he would be more mature because he's more experienced now, and that's not the case. He's still very immature and still very unlikable. I just wish they written Kingo better. With all the new main characters, I thought they were all really likable. I didn't hate any of them, and I also thought they were very well written and honestly really good actors as well. The effects. Let's talk about Ultraman Decker's design, flash type foots. It's a fantastic design. I really liked it. I like how it reminds me of Dyna, but also very different to Dyna. I think that's awesome. It's a really good design. I love the arms, how they're different. I think he is really cool, and I love the gadgety stuff. Strong type. I think this form is also really good. Maybe a bit more muscle definition. I think it should be a little more thicker because, Dyna's strong type is a very thick boy. Miracle type. Miracle type is another really good form. I love the shiny blue on his arm. That looks beautiful. And I like how fast and sleek it looks as well. Dynamic type. Dynamic type is another pretty good form in my opinion. I like his head a lot. I think his head looks really cool. And I like the fact this is Asumi's own Punchner form. But I do want to say I do feel like it's a bit overused. I think my favorite Ultraman Decker form is easily Flash type. I just like that design a lot because it gives me Dyna feels, but it looks really cool and neat as well. Terraphaser. Terraphaser is a really great design. I love Terraphaser's cuddles, how they look. It's just a really cool looking robot. And I like the fact it's a homage to Tiga Dyna the movie. Let's talk about the monster card. It's cool they brought back the capture monsters, Windam, Mythilus, and Argira. They're all fantastic suits. But what happened to them? They appeared quite a bit, and then they eventually stopped appearing in the show. The Spiel Kaijus. I like the fact they took old Kaijus and made them affected by the Spiel. I think that's really cool, and honestly, I wish we saw more than that. There's so many nice shots in this show. So the effects in this show are really good in my opinion. My criticism is with Kingo. Kingo, every time this character appears in this show, he really brings it downhill. Mostly because of this character is just written really badly. I wanna like Kingo, but I can't. Future Decker is such a wasted opportunity. He's such an interesting character, and they do nothing with him. I wanted them to give him a solo episode or a couple more episodes so we can learn more things about him, or even the future, and we'll see what that looked like. Now, I said this in my episode reviews, but I still don't like the revival of Carmera. I just don't think she should have came back, and they do nothing with that storyline. She never reappeared. I thought she maybe might reappear at the ending with Darga and Headram to fight some Spiel, but it did not happen. Now this one is just a nitpick, but not seeing Ultraman Dyna's human form, Atsuka, just a bit of a bummer to me. Now let's move on to what did I like about Ultraman Decker. The characters. They're all likable. The best characters in my opinion in the show though is, well, Decker Asumi. I know, he only appeared in 2 episodes, but he was a really good character. And Agam was probably the best character in the show. So interesting. Seeing Ultraman Dyna was so awesome. It was such a good appearance, and I was so happy. I like how Kanata got his powers to be Ultraman Decker from his future descendant. I don't think that had ever been done in an Ultraman show, and I think that's pretty interesting. I like the fact there was 2 timelines going on. One in the present, one in the future. I think that's very interesting. I also find it interesting Agam is from the future, where he comes from a time where Earth was destroyed and his planet was destroyed. I do wish we saw more of the future, but still, really interesting. Now, what is my final thoughts for Ultraman Decker? So how is Ultraman Decker? Well, this show is technically a new generation Dyna. So does it see it as a new generation Dyna? Yes and no. What I mean by that, Ultraman Dyna is still the better show, and one of my personal favorites. And this show does have some good episodes and some bad episodes, but a lot are just okay episodes. Now, I probably would say the show is just okay, but there's a part of me really want to say the show is pretty good, and that is because of Agam. He's so well written and just a great character, and honestly makes this show. So I'm gonna say the show is pretty good, could be better. It's definitely a lot better than Ultraman Trigger. More and more that show grows on me, and more I dislike it. Well, that is my review for Ultraman Decker. What did you guys think of this show? Comment down below, let's talk about it. If you want to know more of my thoughts about Ultraman Decker, go check out my episode reviews. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Xanathar is out.